Hello again. Who am I in diversity? Despite the growing amount of diversity research, the meaning of diversity remains poorly understood. I consider myself a multiracial person since I represent a complex mixture of Puerto Rican and Black racial ethnic backgrounds. I know that my identity sometimes, and sometimes I say, does not match any of the prescribed standard racial ethnic categories. But I also believe that it makes me positively distinct, diverse, and open to everything new. Today, I am one of the many middle class representatives made of all races, ethnicities, genders, religions, and cultural backgrounds imaginable. Therefore, it is extremely difficult to identify and discuss what members of my social class and I have in common. Nevertheless, it is possible to say that the middle class is a point of transition between the lower social strata and the higher social position and vice versa. The higher social status, the less diverse members of the social class become, and the more difficult it becomes for biracial and multiracial individuals to pursue their goals and dreams. Much has been written and said about the value and implications of diversity for organizations. The growing competitiveness in the market mandates the development and implementation of various diversity initiatives. Unfortunately, not all organization leaders realize what it really means to be diverse and how the meaning of diversity differs from that of inclusion. The concepts of diversity and inclusion tend to be interchangeably. However, that diversity differs dramatically from inclusion cannot be denied. Diversity is defined as the presence of varied perspectives, beliefs, and work approaches brought by different identity groups, whereas inclusion is essentially about the degree to which these identity groups, and individuals can access information and resources, participate in work groups, as well as influence the organizational decisions. Robertson in 2004 stated the fact. In other words, diversity is a static concept. By contrast, inclusion is a dynamic process of giving diverse members and identify groups' voice in organizational decisions and empowering them to participate in various organizational processes. I have over 10 years of experience in management and social justice initiatives and alongside clinical work. And I am currently serving as the chairperson of the Credentials Committee for the UCC nationally, overseeing all aspects of the strategic planning, development, and implementation of the cross-cultural diversity and inclusion initiatives for delegates composition, and most recently served as a cross-cultural and inclusiveness trainer, developing the plan and strategic initiatives and providing diversity sensitivity and cultural competence awareness, training, communications, and activities. Prior to working in the clinical and human service field, I worked for over 8 years as a human resources generalist for a multimillionaire airline, a subsidiary unit of AMR Corporation. Above all of this, I still experience the pressure of misbalanced cultural attitudes in the workplace. My mixed racial background has made me extremely sensitive to the issues of diversity in the workplace. I often notice the gap between organizations' diversity goals and values and the real state of diversity things in the workplace. Very often, organizations announce themselves to be diverse and inclusive. Meanwhile, employees lack diversity knowledge and recruitment policies remain predominantly unfavorable to mixed racial applicants. I am either too dark for Latino community outreach or have too much of a Latin accent to outreach the African American community. regardless of my years of experience, skills, and education. Diversity is a popular word in a contemporary organization research. Unfortunately, not all organizations are aware of the meaning and can distinguish diversity from inclusion. In simple terms, diversity is the goal organizations seek to pursue, whereas inclusion is the means by which they can meet their diversity ideals. It is important for organizations to implement inclusion and diversity training to raise diversity awareness in the workplace and inform managers and recruiters of the selection and recruitment decisions. Diversity training is usually claimed to benefit organizations. Diversity training in the workplace raises employee awareness of diversity, enhances multicultural communication and conflict management skills, empowerment, professional development, and creates a foundation for recruiting and retaining diverse staff. And this is based on Holmes in 2004. However, not all diversity training programs are effective. And the presence of diversity training programs does not guarantee diversity and effective performance within organizations. Everything depends on whether the diversity training model chosen fits the cultural conditions of particular organizations and how these trainings models are implemented. For example, recent findings suggest that mandatory diversity training does not bring any positive results, and that's based on the study of Bedantown in 2018. Nevertheless, there are several benefits from diversity trainings, and especially to management and recruiters. To understand the differences between diversity and inclusion. I challenge your organization to update all recruiting and interview processes to mitigate bias and standardize across all candidates. All of these steps also require a diverse set of decision makers. It is only through increased diversity of decision makers that we will see improvement of diversity across all areas. Thanks for watching.